Hello, everyone, and welcome to our PAGS event tonight, Ages and Stages. I am Melissa Duffett, and I am one of the middle school SAGE teachers at the Northland Innovation Center. And I am so happy that you are joining us tonight or potentially watching this broadcast later. Feel free to use the chat tonight on your YouTube stream. We have several teachers here from all ages and stages of SAGE to answer questions. We also have some parents and parents/teachers who are also teachers of SAGE and parents of SAGE kids to answer some questions about PAGS. So to begin our show tonight, I am going to bring in Dr. Marsden to greet everyone. I got to find her in my thing here.
There she is. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming out this evening. And even if you couldn't make it tonight and you're watching it later on, I hope that you pick up some great information on our ages and stages through the journey of SAGE from elementary, primary elementary, just like Ms. Duffett said, all the way through high school. And with that Q&A, feel free to reach out. If we miss you tonight, absolutely reach out to a SAGE teacher if you've got questions. This is just another way that we just wanted to connect with our families and just let everybody be at the convenience of their own home. And we have enjoyed our start to our school year. We are absolutely loving having all of our kids back in our building every single day. We're loving it. We're having tons of fun. Our kids are learning so much, and we hope that you're following us on Facebook and Twitter and keeping up with the great things that we're doing each and every day. So thanks for being here tonight, and we look forward to the rest of the presentation.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Marsden. We will talk to you later. All right. Our president or one of the members of PAGS, I guess one of the board members, it was unable to join us tonight, but he has recorded a video, which I am going to bring up now. Fingers crossed this works. It is a live show, everybody. So you never know how this is going to go. And I am somewhat new at hosting my little show here. So fingers crossed this works, everybody. I'm trying to share it.
And welcome to tonight's event, Ages and Stages, as we talk about your child's journey from kindergarten through graduation here in the Gifted Education program at North Kansas City Schools. Thanks so much for joining and taking the time to learn all about SAGE. I'm Kurt Austin, president of PAGS. What is PAGS? It's the Parents of Academically Gifted Students. Similar to what might be a PTA at your child's homeschool, we are that group for all of the students that attend here at SAGE. We're designed to support and advocate for the needs of gifted students all across the North Kansas City School District. Our purpose is to partner with the district and with the gifted educators here at SAGE to be able to provide and advocate gifted education for all of our students. This takes on a lot of different meanings. Some of the things we've done in the past include a virtual speaker series. We designed a yearbook for students and families to purchase last year at the end of the school year. We do small groups for families to stay connected outside of the school. We also offer parent resources and toolkits in addition to activities and events such as tonight's. I wanted to talk to you about some different opportunities to get involved with PAGS. One is through membership. We do offer PAGS memberships for $10 per family. We can drop that link in the chat if you'd be interested in joining. All of the money that's supported through memberships goes directly back to the students and the facility here at the Northland Innovation Center to support field trips, to support activities and events, student celebrations, staff appreciation, and so forth. We're also looking for new members always to join our board. If you'd be interested in joining the board, please reach out to us at PAGS. You can email us. You can also find us on Facebook. As a board, we meet the third Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m. Those meetings take place via Microsoft Teams. Don't have to be a board member to jump on those conversations. They're really good discussions about everything that's going on at SAGE as we plan events and talk about other ways that we can support our students. You can also get involved through advocacy. We're always looking to hear what matters to you as a parent and what matters most for our students. I've recently learned that in Missouri, nearly 60% of public schools do not provide services for gifted education. Thankfully, here in the North Kansas City School District, we're very fortunate to have a world-class facility here at the Northland Innovation Center and have so many great educated staff that can support our students and serve our students. We're always looking to advocate for those staff at a district level and also at the state level too. Spiritware. This year's design was designed by one of SAGE's own students, Serenity Hogan. Thank you so much to her and all of the students that participated in the contest. We have a limited number of t-shirts left to purchase. You can get those in both youth and adult sizes. We'll put that link in the chat as well if you'd like to check that out. Before we wrap up, a few quick thank yous. I want to thank all of the SAGE staff for making tonight's event possible. Dr. Marsden, Lara Owsley, Melissa Duffett, All of the SAGE presenters, as well as the PAGS board, Rebecca Baumgartner and Kathy Thomas, have been instrumental in all of the activities that PAGS sponsors all throughout the year. Kathy will be sticking around here for the next few minutes. If you have any questions that you'd like to drop in the chat, she'll be a great person to answer them. And again, you can check us out on Facebook so you find out all about PAGS all throughout the year. Thanks again for joining. Enjoy the presentations.
Okay, we're having a little technical difficulty. I know everybody's having a little bit of internet problems. Seems to always happen around this time of night. I think everybody comes home and hops on their computers. So I know the video, sometimes it was going in, sometimes it was going out. We really appreciate Kurt coming in to the center yesterday and letting us film him and his great message about PAGS. I know that Kathy, our other PAGS person, is having some technical difficulties. So I am going to add Lara Owsley to our broadcast. There she is. I was frozen for a minute too. So I was like, panic. Yeah. We're here. We're doing great. I think the video slowed everything down just a little bit. So hopefully it runs a little more smoothly. But Lara, do you want to add anything to what Kurt had to say about PAGS?
It played okay for me, so I think it's good. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's different. I could hear it fine, so yay. I will add, I attempted to put the link in for membership forms in our chat. If it isn't working now, we can always add more links after the video is over, so you can check back and see. Membership is only $10, and we really appreciate our parents that join and support the program. So we will also include links to our fundraiser, which goes through November 5th. Boone Supply, I think Miss Hodes might talk about that a little bit too when she comes on for primary. She has some cool products from that. Lots of kitchen things and different things that you could maybe order for Christmas gifts that would support the organization. And all the money, as Kurt said, goes right back to the students at the SAGE Center. Was there anything? So membership, that's really important. We hope you'll consider joining, and we appreciate the parents' support for all of those things. Fundraiser, we do have some shirts still for sale. I'm going to drop the order form for shirts in the chat as well. So anybody have any questions?
Miss Owsley, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because my screen is frozen, so I think I'm still on. So that's
you
good.
are. You're not frozen to me.
Okay, that's good because I can hear you. Just everything on my screen is frozen, so I can't click anybody else off or on right now. So I'm gonna. We'll see what happens here in just a second.
Yeah, that's kind of. Yeah,
you'll be fine. That's good. But I don't want to restart this broadcast, everybody. So be patient with us. Trying to see what I can do here.
Mm-hmm. I could also talk about real quickly, we do want more parents to get involved in the organization. So I'll kind of see how, and it does, I know Kurt talked about in his video, we are looking for additional parents to be on the board. We would love if you would consider doing that. You can email Ms. Duffett, myself, Dr. Marsden. PAGS is on Facebook as well. So if you're not following them, you can find information there to sign up and leave your email in the membership form. But sometimes saying, I haven't participated at all yet. I want to be on the board might feel a little intimidating as a starting point. But we also are looking for parents who would help with organizing events, who would organize supply donation drives, parents who could help with our yearbook that PAGS puts together, and the SAGE kids have an opportunity to buy. So there's lots of different ways to get involved that don't mean having to be on the board. Not that being on the board is that hard. We're a nice group. Great discussion of advocacy for gifted students one night a month. But there's other ways you can get involved too. Okay, Ms. Duffett, you are frozen for me now. I don't know. What do we think? Do we need to restart? Can other people out there hear me? What do we? There's other people backstage. Anybody else going to be on the chat? Oh, we may have lost Ms. Duffett. I don't know. She may need to. Maybe she's going to rejoin. So that'll be okay. Let's just keep going for a minute here. No, I didn't ever want to be a TV journalist, but I guess I kind of am. So now that we've talked about our parent organization, we are going to move here in a minute. If And the stuff will be back in a second here. So let's go over our agenda for the rest of the evening. So SAGE, as you know, probably if you're watching this, is for academically gifted students in the North Kansas City School District. We serve students all the way from kindergarten to graduation, which is a pretty long time. Welcome back, Ms. Stuffit.
I know. That's why I said I think everybody in my neighborhood must be streaming tonight. I don't know that I normally use internet at this time of night because I'm never home. So we're learning right along.
Or I don't know. Is there a storm coming too? Is that it looks kind of like it in my neighborhood, but we live a little ways apart.
I was gonna say it is a little dreary and overcast, but I think everybody's getting home. I'm never home at this time, so I'm like, hey, what's going on? So thank you for helping me out there because
yeah, no problem.
I was thinking
I was just thinking we're
going to everybody.
Yeah, we're going to talk about kindergarten all the way to graduation. So I think we're going to start with our youngest kids, aren't we?
I think we are. All right. I'm going to bring on, I'm going to say goodbye to you for just a minute, Miss Owsley, and take you out. Yep. See you soon. Thank you for covering. Yep. And I brought in Heather Hodes, who is one of our primary SAGE teachers. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Heather. I'll be here with you, hopefully.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Heather Hodes, primary SAGE teacher, teaching grades K through 3. I just wanted to start a little bit by just telling you, first of all, I left most of my Boone Supply bags at school. I might be able to grab one at the end of my little bit here to show you. I'm a huge fan of their shopping bags, huge fan. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about what it's like a day in the life of a primary kiddo at SAGE. So the main things that we spend our day doing are, we do a big portion of our day is spent on the affective part of the gifted child, talking about the social and emotional needs that are sometimes very unique to that population. We have, of course, our various units of study, which I'll talk about in a second. We do a lot with our problem-based learning and the United Nations Global Goals, trying to figure out how best our students can connect to the world in a real way that can help people. We find various ways to do some creative problem solving, not just mathematically, but just really thinking outside the box and trying to find problems and then solve those problems. And then also students do spend 30 minutes each SAGE day learning Spanish from Senor Myers. One of our, sorry, my computer's not wanting to cooperate either. When we are talking about our social and emotional needs, we talk a lot about feelings and emotions, perfectionism, the early signs of perfectionism, so that we can turn some of that unhealthy perfectionism to a little bit more healthy, taking risks and avoiding that fear of failure, executive functions, just what it means to be gifted, and then of course peer relations and how they are interacting with all of their peers. We do semester units of study for 2nd and 3rd grade, but for kindergarten and 1st, we do they're also semesters, but we keep our students with us where they do not get a choice. We find various interesting units for those students, and then we do include a lot of science within that. So currently, right now, our kindergarten and 1st grade are studying entomology, the study of insects, but we've done marine biology, rainforests, and like I said, we do a lot with science, which specifically the Quirkles curriculum. In 2nd grade, some of our units include careers, destination imagination, geology rocks, hydroponics, robotics with Ozobots and Spheros. For 3rd grade, some various ones are aviation, genetics, illumination station, which is 3D printing. We have a math and art class and some a vlogging class as well that should help them get ready for some broadcasting up in the upper grades. Those are pretty much the main things that students learn while they're at SAGE. Am I just sitting here ready for questions in the chat, or do people ask? How do we do that?
I'm not seeing any questions come up in the chat other than somebody had asked a great question about when PAGS meets. So we've gotten that answered here.
Okay.
Miss Owsley was trying to put some links into the chat as well which I'm not seeing pop up, but that does not mean anything right here at the Duffett House. Just again, fingers crossed this is working. And I promised that I made all teenagers not be on the internet tonight so that we could have all the streaming possible here. So I appreciate everybody's patience. I know that Kathy was having some technical difficulties as well.
Mhm.
So I don't see any questions, Ms. Hodes.
Okay.
I think you just did such a good job.
Oh, yeah, I answered everything right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I do have a bag over here. Let me grab it really fast.
Oh, she's going to demo a bag for us. This is for the PAGS fundraiser, which I believe has been extended as well. So hopefully you still have some time to order.
Yes. November 5th was is the new deadline for it. These patterns are not still on the Boone Supply website, but they do have the same bags. They are a really thick, like a coated plastic, not a very cheaply. They're very strong. I will tell you, I've been using these for years. High quality zipper, huge bags, really cute patterns, well made. The handles do not come off at all. They're stitched really, really well. They seem a little pricey, but I will tell you 100% worth it. Like I said, been using the same like 4 bags for several years now, and so worth it. Great gift ideas. But those are the things that I've purchased. I know that they're a wonderful website. They give a huge amount of their profits back to our organization. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. I know Miss Owsley's trying to get that flyer into the chat, but I'm pretty sure it's coming home in the newsletter. I know as teachers, we've seen it as well. So hopefully everybody can support our great organization here. All right. I still don't see any questions for you, Ms. Hodes. So if watching this at a later time, if you think of questions at a later time, because sometimes we all need time to process and we want to, think about it. And then we go, oh, should have asked this. Always please feel free to email any of the teachers at the Sage Center, especially primary teachers. If it's a primary question, they will probably know better than I would for sure. Please feel free to reach out at any time and we will definitely get your questions answered. All right.
I do see a question from Robin McAdams. Do the kids get retested each year to be in Sage, or once you're in, you're in? And the answer is once you're in, you're in. There is no need for retesting. So.
Nope. Part of the Sage family.
Yeah.
And we love it. All right.
Till death do us part.
Exactly. Ms. Hodes, thank you for the plug too for the bags. I appreciate that. And I'm going to have you backstage, so don't leave. You'll say goodbye at the end.
Okay.
You're dismissed for now. And I'm going to bring on the intermediate teachers now. I'm going to bring on Mrs. Nash and Mrs. Avino. There's Mrs. Nash. Hello. Mrs. Avino.
Hello.
I have your flyer ready. I hope this works. Things seem to be running more smoothly right now, so keep fingers crossed. I'm going to do this. Okay. I don't know if that's going to work. Can we just talk about it, girls?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So I don't want to shut down again. It's making me very, very nervous.
So welcome to tonight, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm Mrs. Nash, and I teach grades 4 through 5. Work with the lovely Miss Avino here. So as we talk about our stages and what happens in a day at intermediate, just like primary, we have our units of study. And in those units of study, we really try to offer choice. And so students have a wide variety of choices in 4th grade and 5th grade that really appeals to their interests. And those range from things like broadcasting to graphic design, to you making things in the Maker Studio, as well as some of our science classes. So lots of variety there. And again, that key point is really that we're focusing on choice. And so then, like in a typical day in intermediate Sage, we really work to integrate the skills that they're learning in the regular classroom, but then we work to have them apply them here while solving complex problems here at Sage. And so we really focus on using what we're learning and then applying those in new ways to really think deeply and solve interesting problems and issues. We also have these habits and characteristics that we've developed as a whole Sage staff that we help grow in our students here at Sage. And we collectively refer to those as the Illuminators mindset. But those are specific skills and habits we've targeted for Sage students, such as collaboration and empathy, networking, things like that. And then we work to integrate those habits really in all aspects of our day. So that on a typical day at Sage, students get the opportunity to utilize their higher order thinking skills throughout their day in lots of different areas. So like creative problem solving, project-based learning, our unit of study that we mentioned earlier, and math challenges. So again, just building in those problem solving skills, working on those Illuminator mindset skills and habits that we've identified.
Do you want me to talk, Erin?
I can keep going if you want.
No, it's okay. Because I was just going to say, by helping our students like build a strong mindset, that's a huge focus at Sage, that we strive to enhance their understanding that once they have a strong mind, that they have no limits on what they can accomplish. And so sometimes we do see some of the concerns that come up, like between our gifted students, could be things like anxiety, stress. A lot of times they feel misunderstood, and misunderstood could be with their peers, but sometimes also with their teachers, families. So it's extremely important that we actually talk to them about giving them lessons on how coping strategies and how to be self-advocates so that they can try to combat some of those problems on their own when they're feeling those sources of stress. Because like we said, once they have a strong mind, we know that they have no limits. Anything else, Erin?
I think that was a wonderful ending line, Mrs. Evino.
Okay.
It was.
It was really good.
It was really good. I was like, wow, that was nicely said. And I will have to say, I am learning a lot too. I work in the building, but just hearing my coworkers, because we're all on different floors, just hearing again about all the amazing things that kids are doing every day at Sage makes me think, man, I love being at Sage. I hope the kids do. I hope the parents are happy their kids are at Sage. I mean, I just am like, wow, guys, that was well said. Good job, girls. Sorry I couldn't bring up your thingy.
It's okay.
Okay, we were ready.
Okay. Thought it would have been easier if you had shared on the screen. So we'll work on this.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So girls, thank you so much. You can wave goodbye for now, but you're coming back. So don't go too far. Okay. And I'm going to bring back in Miss Owsley so that we can talk about the middle school program, she and I together. So take and see you, girls. All right, Miss Owsley, you're back. It's
I am.
As I said, I feel like we have big shoes to fill now that the other ladies have spoken so eloquently about their program.
Absolutely.
Do you want to start?
Middle school is a unique time in a child's life. Some of you parents listening may have already made it through middle school. Miss Duffett has with both of her children. And some of you may have it coming up, or you may be right in the middle of middle school right now. So middle school students start developing more independent identities. They're susceptible to peer pressure, unfortunately, a little bit. And they start breaking away a little bit more. And it's a time, unfortunately, where sometimes they kind of want to hide being gifted. And that can often feel kind of sad or worrisome to their parents. But it actually is a very normal stage of being a middle schooler. So sometimes they'll have a lot of anxiety about their work. Sometimes they kind of want to underachieve and downplay that they're gifted. All of that is totally normal developmentally. So, which I kind of started with the developmental stuff and not really about a program. What do you think, Ms. Duffett? What do you want to add?
Well, that's our job at Sage, is to kind of work through those things. A lot of our students love being at Sage. It's their happy place. They're with their people, if you will. Mm-hmm. So we really try to build on that and give the students lots of voice and choice. You know, in middle school, they don't always get to choose what they're working on or what they're doing. That's a big part of our middle school Sage program. So we offer 2 units of study each semester. So by the end of each year, they'll have an opportunity to take 4 different units of study. And we've really been working on offering like a part 2 to some of our courses to really enrich and extend what they've already been working on. Or, they can take a unit of study again and really challenge themselves to, choose something different within that unit of study. So we offer things like forensic science and First Lego League, broadcasting, Arduinos, 3D printing, Sage Startup, photography, graphic design, kitchen chemistry. I also have been doing Destination Imagination, which I know Ms. Hody spoke about in primary. So we're really excited about trying to bridge that throughout the years at the Sage Center, because there's always an opportunity to be a creative Sage kid. Battle the Brains, one of the things we're offering this semester as well. The Universe, biomedical engineering. So just lots of choices. And then the students in January will get to choose 2 more units of study that they will then do January to the end of the year. And there'll be all new offerings. And then sometimes there's, like I said, there's a part 2 to something that they've already done. It does like botany or kitchen chemistry 2 or stock market or advanced graphic design, things like that.
Yeah.
Also part of their day is we work on those affective skills. And then we also have a time that we call guilds, which stands for Gifted Unique Individuals Learning Diverse Skills.
Mhm.
The students create kind of the guild that they want to work on. Or then they can join a guild. They will join a guild. And they really kind of get to explore things of their interest, plan it, do it, really get their hands in there and have that time for themselves on each of their Sage days.
Yep. And they get to work with others in that part. I mean, there's a lot of group collaborative work as well as some independent work, but guilds is definitely a time when they get to work with a group that has similar interests and passions, which is really exciting for them. Yes, absolutely. And they have a wide, lots of all the different units of study, and they usually have at least 3, sometimes 4 different Sage teachers when they come up to the middle school floor, which can be a big change from some of the younger grades as well. So outside of Sage, they can have acceleration and challenging classes at their home schools as well, but we really try to give them a lot of challenge and variety as part of our program. I think we're seeing some questions in the chat about PEGs versus PAGs. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify that, even though that's not kind of related. It is kind of related to middle school. So education is filled with acronyms, lots of different phrases and things. So SAGE is the name for the academically gifted and talented program that North Kansas City Schools has. That's K to 12, all the way to graduation. We also have PAGs, which is our parent organization, Parents of Academically Gifted Students. And that's been around for many, many years. But then we also have PEGs, which is a program within the building for, I believe, currently 3rd to 6th graders who attend at the Northland Innovation Center, the SAGE Center, 5 days a week and have a full-time teacher there at the center. There are additional qualifications for being part of that program and on a limited number of slots. So students can apply for those, but that's not really what we're focusing on tonight because SAGE is the 1 day a week program or a resource program in high school. Our high school person is going to talk next, but it's separate from the 5 day a week program. So wasn't really something we were going to talk about too much tonight, but I know some people have been asking about it. So we can always provide additional details if you want to email one of us and if you're interested in knowing what the exact criteria are. I don't want to say exactly. I feel like I'm not 100% confident of what the IQ cutoff is, but there is a limited number of spaces. I believe it's 24. So other SAGE teachers on here, if you feel like I've missed something, let me know in the chat, but I think that kind of clarifies. So if a student is in that program, they still come to SAGE 1 day a week as well and are part of the SAGE program. What do you think, Ms. Duffett? Anything I'm forgetting about that one?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So.
All right. Okay,
Cool.
so we're going to keep the show moving here. We're already hitting a 30-minute mark. So Miss Owsley, don't go away. I'm going to bring you back in. But I am going to go to the last leg of our journey here, which is high school. And I am going to bring on Dr. Dameron. I'm going to say goodbye to Miss Owsley for now. All right, Dr. Dameron, I'm going to hand it over to you to talk about the last leg of our SAGE journey.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to High School SAGE. So I'm super excited to see parents here tonight. We have 4 high school SAGE teachers. So every high school has their own gifted resource specialist. And our title is very similar to what our role is. So when your gifted student gets to high school, the gifted role changes a little bit. They don't become ungifted though. So that's why we're there, because your child, the district is great to recognize that they are gifted all the way through their education, and we're there to support them. So we are in a resource role, meaning each year what we do and how we interact with students changes a little as their needs change. As resource teachers, in each grade, there are certain things that come up, and we're there to help advise parents and help kids. We all have secret stashes of candy and snacks in our office, which is a unique thing to high school, I think. Encouraging students to pop in and see us because they very likely in 9th grade will not have us in class, because the classes that we all teach are for 11th and 12th graders that are wanting to earn honors diplomas. We're still there, however, to support our SAGE students, and we have little get-togethers from time to time. So it's a great time for us to just, the kids really like to see each other and connect, because coming out of middle school, they're like, oh, I remember him and I remember that person. So that's always fun. So 9th grade is kind of just that get to know high school, get a little introduction going. What is, what's happening in classes? Am I in the right class? Should I be in honors class? I was in a regular English class, but I'm feeling like I should have been in honors. We help navigate some of those worlds. Then 10th grade is the same thing. We move now into some serious, serious education, starting with some standardized testing. We do a lot of support with that, making sure kids feel supported. Like, do I know how to study? Do I need to, I'm really struggling with this certain teacher, and we can really help kids kind of navigate that. 11th grade and 12th grade, this is going to really scare if you're an elementary teacher, but this is our journey to college. So we really work very hard at helping kids on their journey so that they can be successful and find a great place to be for college. And the big thing too, of course, find money for college. We kind of find ourselves little mini experts on that. So although high school SAGE looks different, we're still all super passionate about gifted kids, and the social emotional needs don't go away. And we're all very aware of that. They change quite a bit because these little mini adults now, right? They have very different needs. And we really, really want to build relationships with every one of our SAGE students so that they know that we're there to help and support. So that's kind of our big thing, is just making sure kids know we're there, and we're there for them and our families too.
Great. Thank you so much. And as having a high school senior, it's a big step. So we really appreciate our high school SAGE teachers being there to hold hands, because it's a lot. I've been very overwhelmed as a mom, I'm not going to lie. And I am appreciative of all the high school teachers that are there to help my daughter. So I appreciate you. I'll be the first one to say that too, living it right now. All right.
Oh my goodness.
I
Congratulations.
am going to bring back in my colleagues here. Girls, get ready. You're coming in. Here we come. Giving you a warning, girls. All right. It's like the Brady Bunch up here, ladies. Just wanted to bring you all in for a conclusion. I didn't know if we've got a question here. It says, what does instruction look like in these units where there's a lot of choice? Are they researching independently, or is it small group instruction usually? I will start by saying I think a lot of it has to depend on the unit of study itself. I think there's an element of both of those things in all units of study. We will begin that process with the students, digging in, finding the big driving question we want to research. And then students may be researching independently while we do work with small groups, and kind of bring them back in to do some small group and then kind of release them again to do the independent research. Teaching science-based classes myself, a lot of labs. So kind of giving the kids some directions and the big driving question, and then letting them do a lot of hands-on themselves. Ladies, anybody else want to add anything to that?
I think I would just say that we've learned as with middle school that we kind of include that in our description at the beginning when we have the kids enrolling and we're explaining the choices to them. Some of them really have a strong preference to want to primarily work in groups, because there are some units of study that are sort of team-based, and then some want a little more time to themselves. So we've actually started incorporating that so that they know from the beginning. This one is like FLL is our Lego League one that's a team and they're working together, and and then SAGE Startup is a group project sort of the whole time. Whereas I teach a couple that, like Future Cities, is very individual. So they can actually kind of have some of their choice in what they choose to do to start with. But all of them have some independent and some group, a little bit of both. Yeah. So I don't know for intermediate or primary, if it would be similar probably or not.
I would say for primary, absolutely very similar. If it's more of a science-based, there's going to be some labs and some, just experiments going on. We do a lot with the design process in various aspects of the units of study. There's always independent and there's always small group, but it is not the traditional sit with the teacher talking for the whole time and you're just getting a bunch of information. That is just not part of any of our units. So there's very minimal sit and get information type of classes.
Anybody else?
Not really much to add on with intermediate. I mean, it's about the same for all levels in that regard, that it's really a mix of that small group and independent work. So I agree with what has been said so far.
Fantastic. All right. And I popped another question up here that came up. It says, is it a full day at Sage and how does the testing work? And I'm not sure I understand both parts of that question. Once students are accepted into Sage, if it's just Sage, that you come 1 day a week and they are with us for most of the day, yes. But then they're at their home schools for 4 days a week. Again, if this is a PEGS related question, it might be something that we will want to email someone at the Sage Center so we can get that clarified. There is a difference between Sage and PEGS. And this is a PAGS, P-A-G-S, not a P-E-G-S event tonight. So I'm not sure I understand that question. If somebody, she wants to know if you want to clarify that. This is the mom, parent, I think. And I hope that answered the question.
I would, if Danelle's not coming on, or if she's not here to answer the question, I will say whatever the testing is for whatever it is always going to start with the home school. So I would just direct any parent who's interested in testing to contact the classroom teacher or the building administrator and start from there.
Yeah, there is a parent referral process, and it does start with the classroom teacher. We have a testing process that we use, and so if you go to on our website, northkansascityschools.org, and look for Sage, there is further details about testing. There's a lot that goes into that. So, but thank you for asking the question.
Yeah, great questions. There are lots of great questions tonight from everybody. Like I said, if you think of something later or again need further clarification on something, please feel free to reach out to us. That's what we are here to do. And kind of one of our outreach things for having this little get together tonight. I don't see any other questions coming up. I'll give it just a couple of minutes. Sometimes it takes a minute to sync. Oh, great. She said, thank you. That answered my question. Yay, we did it. Feeling very successful now that the internet is working with me and I'm not cutting out again. So again, thank you everybody for joining us and being patient with us. It is live TV here. Did not know that after 24 years of teaching, I'd be adding show host to my resume. I really am learning a lot and enjoying it. I learned a lot from my own colleagues tonight. So ladies, I appreciate your time this evening and being patient with me and trying to work all this out. We're getting there. We're working on it. I appreciate everybody who subscribed to the YouTube channel, the Sage channel tonight. Feel free to do that. And hopefully we can do more of these events. This is great. Ladies, you've done a fantastic job. I thank you so much. And everybody want to say anything, closing words, or just wave goodbye?
Thank you. We appreciate you leading and transitioning and all of that. It was very cool to have this. So thanks everybody for watching.
I'm going to practice getting my screen shared better. I was just more worried about the internet, to be honest. So, all right, ladies, I will see you at work tomorrow. Dr. Dameron, thank you for joining us from the high school level. Parents, thank you, and everybody else out there. And again, feel free to direct any questions our way. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
All right, thanks so much.